A glowing, twisting streak of light recently pierced the night clouds over the Bay of Bengal. Observers on the ground captured this massive contrail, tracking a high-speed projectile launched from the coast of Odisha. This schematic explains why that trail is so unusual. A typical ballistic missile follows a steep, predictable parabolic arc, but this object ascends, then aggressively levels out to glide parallel to the Earth's surface, a flight path that contradicts standard ballistic physics. The visual footprint of this launch was so massive, it was clearly visible across the border. Civilians in neighboring Bangladesh tracked the glowing anomaly, immediately sparking a wave of social media speculation. Despite a launch of this magnitude being visible across international borders, the Indian government remained silent. There was no official press release, no statement from the Defense Research Agency, and no public celebration from leadership. That absolute silence suggests a calculation. It indicates India has tested a highly classified weapons system and is actively working to obscure its true capabilities from the global community. Before the launch, India issued an international notice to airmen, clearing a massive 3,500-kilometer exclusion zone extending directly out from its eastern coastline. But that range may have been a decoy. It aligns with the older Agni missile, a mastered technology India wouldn't shroud in extreme secrecy. Then, the government's official parliamentary channel briefly tweeted that the test was actually a 1,500-kilometer long-range anti-ship hypersonic missile. That post was hastily deleted, adding another layer of confusion to the official narrative. The most significant detail, however, came from a rapidly deleted post by the ruling party's official handle. It explicitly celebrated the launch of the Agni-6, a designation reserved for a next-generation intercontinental ballistic missile with a projected range of 10,000 kilometers. We have three conflicting stories: a legacy missile test, a short-range anti-ship weapon, and a deleted celebration of a long-range ICBM. These contradictions suggest a deliberate effort to mask a monumental leap in hardware. This radar display illustrates exactly what that horizontal flight path achieves. The aggressive flattening we saw over the Bay of Bengal is the signature of a hypersonic glide vehicle designed to move fast and stay low. Scanning waves can easily detect a traditional high arc early in its flight, allowing defense networks to plot an interception course. But a vehicle that glides low and fast stays hidden beneath the detection threshold until it is too late to react. Engineering a vehicle to fly this way is a direct response to modern, highly advanced air defense networks like the American THAAD or Russian S-400. This diagram shows the payload multiplier, MIRV technology. Multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles allow a single missile to fragment in space and drop several distinct warheads onto entirely separate targets simultaneously. Combine a glide trajectory that ducks under radar with a warhead that multiplies in space, and the resulting weapon becomes nearly impossible to stop. This secrecy stands in stark contrast to Operation Sindoor just a year ago, when India was highly vocal about its precise strikes against Pakistani targets. If the reports of an Agni-6 test are accurate, the focus shifts away from regional neighbors. From a launch site in Odisha, a 10,000-kilometer trajectory spans the entire Asian continent, reaching major capitals in Europe and crossing into North America. Just days before the launch, leadership at India's Defense Research Agency confirmed that the Agni-6 technology was fully complete and awaiting the government's permission. This follows the doctrine of strategic ambiguity. By putting the weapon in the air but officially denying its existence, India avoids immediate international backlash while proving to foreign intelligence agencies that the technology is operational. A successful test of this caliber changes India's position on the global stage. By mastering this combination of extreme range and MIRV technology, India joins the United States, Russia, and China as one of the few nations capable of wielding this tier of strategic power. India doesn't need an official announcement